Hello and good morning, and isn't it about time? It's about time this team turned up for the World Cup. All the other countries have been here and gone. Some of them, Netherlands, Ireland, Papua New Guinea, sadly. Welcome back to the morning after World Cup on the Grey Cricketer, brought to you by ACO, India's leading digital insurance company. My name is Ian Higgins. Sam Perry is excited for India's resurgence into the international playing arena, aren't you?
You'll never speak for me, but I'm very excited about India's resurgence into the playing arena.
Yeah.
And happy Diwali, everybody. Festival of Lights. And didn't KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma and Rishabh and Hardik Pandya light it up last night? He
Nice.
I felt like, you said, they arrived at the party, India. It was a commanding performance. Finally, we saw them wild and free. They flexed. They got their cocks out.
Yeah.
They swung them around.
Yep.
I don't know why that is it's meant to be an analogy.
I've actually never seen that at a party.
No, I've never seen anybody just swinging it around as though that's a reference point or a symbol of masculinity.
I've seen it in a few dressing rooms.
Yeah, but
Did Nugsy swing it around? Yeah, he swung it around.
Yeah.
Put it around his... Yeah, check the time.
yeah, he's succeeding in an aggressive way. What is it? Anyway, so that's neither here nor there. But that's what India did, and congratulations to them.
So, Afghanistan won the toss, and they, for the first time, Pez, as you would know, the last 16 times Afghanistan have won the toss, what have they done? They've batted. That's right. So I cut you off. You're about to say that. But today they chose to bowl first. Hence the what's going on with the tosses here in this World Cup. Anyway, they had a bowl, and that was a mistake because India got 210 for 2. And Afghanistan nobly finished at 144 for 7. And I feel like to put that game into grade terms from an Afghanistan angle, if I may,
Please.
I think the team talk was, boys, let's not get too pumped today.
Yeah.
Let's keep that net run rate, or the NRR, as I like to call it.
You do.
Different to the NRA, which is a separate thing altogether.
Yeah. It would be interesting if Afghanistan does have a relationship with the NRA.
With the NRA, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're getting a bit of territory there.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, let us know in the comments.
But they obviously 7 down chasing 210. It suggests to me that it's like, let's just keep the net run rate intact. And
Let's not get pumped.
Let's finish nobly in 4th position on the table. Anyway, let's get into the 3 things. Rohit and Rahul, boundaries deluxe.
As you like to say.
This was the Indian innings was what a T20 World Cup should be. Boundaries deluxe, boundaries everywhere. KR Rahul 69 of 48. He hit 6 fours and 2 sixes. Rohit Sharma 74 of 47, 8 fours and 3 sixes. Do you ever play in teams where they call sixes Zacks?
Yes.
What's that from? What's the Zac? Zach Braff? Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah, I actually think it was related to Zach Braff. I heard it before.
Yeah, it's an old Scrubs reference.
Exactly. I heard it before Scrubs came out, but they just were sort of, Zach Braff, 6.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jeez, that's big. Zach Braff.
Yeah, that's a big Zach. Maybe he had the ski jump hairstyle.
Oh, yeah.
So perhaps it was the angle, trying
Brilliant.
to get something going there.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Hey, opening stand of 140 between those two coats. Biggest partnership of the tournament, I'm pretty sure.
Biggest total of the tournament too.
Biggest total tournament as well. Now, boundaries every over, often multiple times. Rohit was out first in the 15th over, and by that point they hit 19 boundaries. This was carnage.
Yeah.
And fun carnage.
Mate, and there's more to come. Namibia and Scotland, fuck me.
Scotland's still licking the lips. Don't worry about that.
I feel he goes like this was actually the scenario liberated India. Like they need to win every game 5-0 in footballing terms.
Yeah.
And they released the shackles of slavery. And I mean slavery to cautious arm wrestled cricket,
Right, okay.
Kohli demoted himself.
Yeah.
They just got the big boys up there.
Yep.
And they went at 10 and over consistently. Apart from over just after the power play, they had a couple that just slowed down, but essentially it was just 10 and over.
Yeah.
And they went back to the big boys as well.
Couple of big boys.
Kishan was in the game before. See ya.
See you later.
It's time for the big boys.
Yeah.
And it's KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma, who ends up player of the match. They do the business, and then they just go punt, Pandya, and then we get to watch Rishabh punt with his one-handed shots, which are quite clearly a technique. And I wonder if he has, I'm sure there are answers out there to this, but if he has adopted that from baseball, which is typically ahead of cricket in terms of, extracting every ounce of biomechanical advantage you can get.
Yep.
He must be able to increase the leverage of his swing. And maybe Rishabh doesn't have the levers of other people. So he actually compensates for that by taking the hand off the bat, and he just swings through the top hand. Either way, great to watch. He's pumping him. Pandya's pumping him. 65 of the last 4 overs. And we'll get into this at the end, but I wonder if somehow this will come down to Afghanistan beat New Zealand if India want to get through.
Yeah.
If India, who will eat Namibia and Scotland alive.
Yeah.
It's going to be hilarious.
Piranha shit.
Mate, it's going to it's going to be some serious shellacking stuff.
I actually read a headline this morning about a guy who was running away from bees and he jumped in a lake and he got eaten alive by piranhas.
Fucking hell.
He was running away from bees. That's a nightmare situation.
It
Get me away from the bees.
Yeah. Fuck, that is a nightmare.
Jump in this river.
And
piranhas
piranha.
in there.
Where was that? Was that South America or something? Where do piranhas reside?
It was actually
days.
outside Sheikh Zayed Stadium. Is Rashad Pump putting cork in his bats? Celebrating baseball. He's actually born in Atlanta as well. Not many people know that.
Oh, really?
He's on the World Series. No, he's not.
Oh,
Rashad Punt's born
we do
in
have a good
Atlanta.
American audience.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, anyway, so they
Sorry,
were
took
liberated.
it.
They were free.
Yeah.
Highest score of the competition. And, mate, they destroyed Rashid Khan. I mean, every time, and by that I mean he went at 8 and over, which is what like most people sort of go at. But that's a destruction of Rashid Khan.
Yeah.
He was barely allowed into the match. Hitting him for sixes. He's so hard to hit.
Yeah.
So they just
especially at
pumped
night.
him.
Didn't Ponting say it to us once? Like he's hard to pick up at night. He's hard to read at night, and they play the game at night.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
one thing like Afghanistan is now they're a test playing nation. I mean, no one plays against them because it's tough. It's tough to get a game, but they're in this like middle ground for me where they're like
they were a test playing nation. I'd be like, there's a sadness to the Afghan situation where they may not be about after this.
Well, yeah, but they're too good for the associate nations. They're much better than like your Scotland, Namibia, et al. But then they're obviously the bottom of the pyramid. They're probably significantly worse, not as good as Bangladesh, for instance, right? So like, so Gulbardan, right? He bowls KL Rahul, and he does his. We saw this in 2019 World Cup. He does his double bicep.
And how do you rate that?
How's the rig on it?
Yeah.
Talk about levers. Fuck, he's got great pipes.
Yeah.
And no one can deny Gulbardan of his great pipes.
And no one's trying.
Good.
Not even the Taliban.
But it's a little, bit like, we don't know his family situation, but yeah. It's a little bit like, you're going at 10 and over, and you've just bowled one player. There's like 3 overs left. You're about to concede 480 in a T20 game. Not sure the double, like staring KL Rahul right in his face and doing this to him is a bit like, good luck to you, mate. But then it's like, but Afghanistan, it's a big game against India, and he's bowled a world-class player, world-class batter, so you want to celebrate. I'm not saying take it away. I'm just saying it's a little bit like, just cool your jets. But maybe it's a brand play. What do you think?
I think I understand where you're coming from because, like, if Afghanistan want to be taken as serious equals of India, for example, then you don't double pump in that situation.
You don't double pump.
And you probably only double pump if you're showing that you are a bit beneath them and you've achieved something good, like, scoring a goal at Anfield and you're down 5-0 or something like that. But,
yeah.
But, and this is his problem.
What's his problem?
40 years down the track, he's going to be a proud grandfather, possibly even a great-grandfather, depending on when kids are born.
I'm not sure how it works
like
there, yeah.
But he'll have that picture up in the study or whatever it is, in the pool room.
Yeah.
They've all got them in Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a great picture of him with the double pump bicep.
Yeah.
And one day his grandkid will come up and go like, how many did KL Rahul make?
Do you have the scorecard from that game, Daddy?
His kid will have like Google glasses on or some shit.
Yeah.
Know the answer. They won't even be talking.
That's actually a speech impediment. It's actually a nightmare situation. But
his granddad will understand what he means.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anyway, so
that's good. Anyway, so that opening partnership allowed Hardik and Rashad to come in 63 off the last 3.5 overs. Jesus Christ, that's a pumping. 29 boundaries in the innings total. So they scored too many runs. Let's get into the second thing. Very, very quickly, the Afghanistan innings. But Mo Shami's... I like seeing Mo Shami do well because he's copped a lot of shit in the last 12 months. And maybe it's just a bit too online. Maybe giving too much credit you especially, give him too much credit for just online commentary. But he's copped a lot of shit. Some, obviously, the racist geek can get in the bin, but like, you know, he's been criticised heavily. And for me, for as long as he can keep wearing a towel up to his armpits just before lunch in a test match, he can do whatever he wants. Anyway, he bowled 3 really good overs, and his third over went for 21. He finishes 3 for 32, but so he takes the most wickets of the innings. But his first 2 overs. After 2 overs, he had 1 for 6. Third over goes for 21. Then he takes 2 wickets in his last over for 5, and he finishes 3 for 32. So bizarre.
Yeah, I just felt like that once India had made 210, it was like, let's just go out here and do some shit.
Generate innings.
Yeah, like Afghanistan, they tee off. I love it. They fucking tee off with everybody.
Exciting.
I think Afghanistan would beat Australia. And Afghanistan are still, they're not in the box seat in this group, but it is still, they still have self-determination. If they beat New Zealand, they're essentially through.
Yeah.
If they do it with the correct, if they do it with enough of a net run rate success. That's the problem India have got as well. Like they need Afghanistan to win, but only by a certain amount. And then, anyway.
Is that Gulbarden's grandkid again?
Yeah, that's right. So noting Mo Shami, lots of love for Mo Shami. My enjoyment of Mo Shami is primarily in Test match cricket. The trajectory and the shapes and the towel and the
what about the
beard.
Presentation of the scene?
Exactly. The way he presents it. My gosh, yeah, that's better than any shit Steve Jobs and his mates put together back in the mid-90s in terms of presentation.
They were pretty good though.
Yeah.
Turtlenecks and dance parties.
Yeah, that's right.
What about the Microsoft like Windows 98 launch party?
Yeah,
now, that's a fucking vibe.
That was a vibe. That guy was aggressively dancing.
Yep.
Bill Gates, less so.
Less so.
Note for Ashwin, he goes.
Yeah, 2 for 14 off 4.
Yep. 2 off his first over. Hadn't played a game for India since 2017.
What games?
Hadn't taken a wicket for India in T20 cricket since 2016.
Really?
Yeah. In T20 cricket.
What's he like as a bloke?
Really good YouTube channel. Wonderful custodian of the game.
Right.
Wonderful on the spirit of cricket. A polarising figure with very firm views. And we will continue to pursue a conversation with him.
He's got this new ball where he like flicks it out. I don't know if it's new, but I've not seen him bowl it before. Like flicks it out the front of his hand, and like the seam is upright.
Yeah.
And it swings a bit.
Yeah.
It's not drift, it swings.
Yeah, it's good shit.
How the fuck do you bowl that?
Yeah.
That's hammers and shit, isn't it? That's hammer stuff again.
Oh, it's all hammer stuff.
It's all hammer stuff, yeah.
From an Australian perspective.
Yeah.
We don't understand it. It's not symmetrical.
Where's your front arm?
Yeah. When they're like we haven't had 20,000 coaches over the course of your career telling you to bowl within a corridor of wet paint and everything's got to move in particularly, with particular machine-like symmetry.
Mm-hmm.
Ashwin's coming in and fucking darting out to the side of the crease. I don't like actually when he does that jump out to come wide of the crease and he's like, but maybe that's the Aussie symmetrical issues that I've got.
Of course it is.
Yeah. But anyway, 2 for 14, did you say?
Yep.
He'll stay in that side now.
Did you see Jadeja's catch given? It was soft signal out.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yes, I want to talk about this.
First of all, what a fucking catch that is. That is a screamer.
I like how you call it a catch because it is.
Under lights as well. Anytime you see a lot of guys in professional level, they're catching at night under lights where they fingers up because it's easy to catch that way.
Yeah.
Once you put there, it's somehow a little bit like the statistics suggest that it's harder to catch.
Well, also like when you go like that, you're giving yourself a bit of insurance because if you're popping it up, you can get underneath.
Yeah, true.
Or you're getting it higher.
Suppose so. But so to catch like that diving forward as well under lights, fingers pointing down is incredible. I agree with Sam Billings. I think we both agree here that Billings tweeted last night that he thought that was out. For me, that's just out. Like I know, of course you can like freeze frame and part of the ball is touching the ground, but like, I mean, fuck me. Like it's just out. You know, it's one of those ones where it's just out.
You're a man.
For me, anyway.
You're a man of the law, right? So just to disabuse the commenters who will let us know that actually according to the laws it's not out.
Yeah.
I appreciate that according to the letter of the law it's not out. I think the law's wrong.
Yeah.
The spirit of a catch is to control the ball.
Yeah.
I never really have understood why if you have controlled the ball and yet in a diving motion following that, or when you hit the ground the ball makes contact with the ground, that has somehow placed a question mark over your control of it. If you have prior control of the ball, I believe it should be given. And I think that, so I would, if that's not out,
Yeah.
that kind of catches not out, I think that's the MCC's problem, not Jadeja's or
I agree.
anybody else.
agree.
Because I think it is robbed of what anybody with common sense would reasonably understand to be a catch.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Third thing, Pez, and the final thing, where does this leave everyone? I'm going to put up the table right now. So there you are. There's a table that we're looking at right now. So Pakistan have already qualified, basically top. Although I guess actually New Zealand could actually catch them if they win both their games heavily, and Pakistan lose their last game against Scotland, I think it is. So that's not going to happen. But so it's down to once again Scotland licking their lips. A lot of lipping. What?
Lip licking.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it could
now
be
I've got a speech impediment. So 3 teams trying to get into one spot. And as he said, Pez, it's basically down to India and New Zealand. So the games remaining, which are important.
Afghanistan.
And Afghanistan. New Zealand, Namibia is on Friday during the day. India, Scotland is the same day, but in the evening. So India, Scotland is the one where that could be a huge pumping. And then New Zealand, Afghanistan is on Sunday during the day. So by the time India and Namibia play, which is Monday night, India will already know what they need to do, if they can make it at all, or how many runs they need to win by, or wickets or whatever. So that's the situation.
I mean, so India's net run rate, is back in black, baby.
Yeah.
And but as far as I can see, making a few presumptions around New Zealand winning, etc. India needs Afghanistan to beat New Zealand, and they need it to be a narrow enough win so that India can join them all on 6 points, but with a superior net run rate.
Yep.
So they need to pump everybody and hope Afghanistan wins by a reasonable margin.
But not too much.
And I think that if that happens, I think there's a chance. I rate Afghanistan. If Afghanistan get a toss against New Zealand, I think they're a good shot.
It's during the day, that game, New Zealand, Afghanistan. So, but who knows, man? UAE wickets, grim.
And another story out of this, possibly not for our subscribers, is that if Afghanistan beat New Zealand, Afghanistan's through. It would be unbelievable. As in, if they beat them by the correct amount or whatever.
Yeah. That's true.
But let's just suppose that India do the business. Like if they manage to pump Namibia, pump Scotland. Like they will come steaming into the semis. Like if they're basically playing wild and free cricket, starting from last night, I'd get out of their fucking way.
Well, they'd play against England in the semi. It'd be England-India semi-final, and then Pakistan, whoever finishes second.
Unless England throws it against South Africa so that they can fuck Australia up and stuff. But no one's suggesting there's been any fixing in relation to this tournament. So I don't think we need to talk about it.
Hashtag AskTGC, brought to you by our dearest friends at ACO. Rahul Warrior writes in and says, hashtag AskTGC. India swept New Zealand 5-0 in New Zealand in the T20 series in 2020. What does this mean? New Zealand are in India after this World T20 for 3 T20Is and 2 tests. I hope to see our own 5-0 there. It may give me some peace. 300 for 4 declared, making them run around in the heat of Kanpur. Last test in Kanpur was 2016, 197 runs versus New Zealand. Will this lighten the pain?
I'm presuming Rahul is Indian, right?
Because I don't think it's a Scottish name.
The way, just the way it's written, it seems the other way around. Well, firstly, just to go through it, he goes, what does India sweeping New Zealand 5-0 in New Zealand in T20s in 2020 mean? Nothing.
Yep.
We know this.
Yep.
These tests, this whole series happens like 2 days.
It's literally 2 days after the final.
After the
final?
It's
a fucking joke, yeah.
So in many ways, that represents, like, it could represent New Zealand's best chance of doing something in India.
Yeah.
Unlikely, though. And I am looking forward to it because, like, New Zealand have wanted to be among the big boys in Test cricket.
Yeah.
I want to see some, and every time I feel like I'm watching Test cricket in India, it's Australia or England getting absolutely smashed by guys with railway sleepers and fucking laugh appeals and not knowing where the ball's spinning and fucking cool things around their neck and just struggling. Matt Renshaw walking off, needing to go to the toilet, like that sort of gear. Beards and all of that. So I'm looking forward to seeing the black and white and silver fern of New Zealand
for sure
having to cope with just the monstrously extreme conditions.
I would suggest that that if India crash out of the tournament, nothing will turn things around quicker in the consciousness of the supporting public than watching Axar Patel trap Henry Nicholls on the crease, bowling in sunglasses when it's 48 degrees, laugh appeals. That will make everyone forget what happened in the World Cup. And also, announced yesterday, Rahul Dravid is going to take over from Abraham Lincoln, who freed the slaves.
How interesting. I mean, I have not looked at, you just told me about that this morning. I mean, we know
the coach,
we know Dravid was the hot tip.
He was a hot tip.
I haven't looked into this at all, but it is a curious timing of the announcement. It's almost like my first thought is that they are laying the groundwork or softening people up to prepare for the new era of Indian cricket before this tournament's over, just so people can start looking into the future already, because it's likely they'll crash out. I think New Zealand will get through, by the way. But and I think you're right. I think you're right. Like, there will be no greater compensation runs. We've talked about compensation runs with Steve Smith and David Warner being out for a year or two. This is like compensating the nation for a failure in the T20 World Cup that they're hosting.
Yeah,
sort of. So,
not really.
I could, how many times has Trent Bolt or Tim Southey or Neil Wagner had to steam in 38 degrees at Ahmedabad or wherever the hell, Kanpur?
It's going to be Will Somerville getting down there and.
Christ alive, that is 4 for 700 territory.
Respectable, friend of the show.
Yep.
All right, we're doing a live stream for the biggest game of the tournament, which is tonight, Australia-Bangladesh, right here on YouTube. That starts 15 minutes before the first ball, wherever you are.
Should be straightforward for Australia.
Pretty straightforward game. Just roll that through. If Australia lose, it basically means they can't make it. So I think there'd be no problems there.
Bangladesh, 0 points.
0 points.
Australia should, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
Starting to look forward ahead to the Windies game on Saturday, which is also down here in our media. We should be getting through.
Yeah. That's right. And Australia just beat Bangladesh in one of the games in that.
Yeah, with Dan Christian, who won't be playing.
They lost 4 of the other games, but
I didn't see that.
Join us tonight right here on YouTube. See you guys later. Cheers.